Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We are the Boys from the Baltic Star, and we play narrative type games for the most part. And at the weekends, that usually means Fridays and Saturdays, we normally do role playing games. And sometimes, when Luke is away, Ewan and I play fighting fantasy game books and other classic things from the past. So, good evening, Ewan. How are you?
Hi Ben. Yeah, I'm great, thanks. I'm still riding the high of our last Fighting Fantasy game book.
It was a legendary result, was it not?
It was indeed. It was indeed. I think that was
It
a,
was
a one
exceptional.
playthrough, one win, first time.
For the first time ever, yes. Yes, we've never done that before.
So yes, I'm still ecstatic about that, and I'm carrying that over into this one, which I'm sure will be just as successful.
I'm sure you're right. I mean,
Not terrific.
it's pretty much bound to be, isn't it? I mean, now we've learnt the secret and how to do them. The trick is we just have to make sure that we choose Poseidon as our patron, and then don't double think anything. We're there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So as long as we do that, we are home free.
He was very good to us as a patron. Well, actually, that's not true. He wasn't. But he helped us out a little bit, and then
He
was
helped us a bit.
rubbish for the rest of the book. But hey, I suppose what are you gonna do? The gods be fickle.
It's
Apparently.
it is apparently the way of the world. Yes, which is a real shame because obviously we frankly did him nothing but good service, and he treated us somewhat poorly.
Nonchalantly.
Nonchalantly, yes, coolly, one might say.
Yeah.
Yes. So tonight we are playing Book 9 in the original Fighting Fantasy series, Caverns of the Snow Witch. It's by Ian Livingstone. It was published in 1984. And to get started, as always, we have to do character generation. So, skill first, 1d6 plus 6.
Wonderful.
That is a 9 for me.
Oh, mine's 12.
Oh, fantastic. So you're going to be doing all of the, heavy lifting
Pretty
here.
good. I can't remember what our rolls were like from the last one, but I don't think they were particularly exceptional. I think we did okay, above average, I would say.
Yeah,
I don't think they carried us. Yeah.
So stamina is 2d6 plus 12.
That's a bit better. Well, that's a bit more like it. It's a 4 plus 12.
That's a 7 for me, plus 12. So theoretically a 19, but obviously we have a deduction to come.
Yes, we do indeed.
And then luck is once again 1d6 plus 6. That's a 12 for me.
Ooh, nice. Mine's a 9. Mirroring skill.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. On
Balanced
that basis, I'm basically in the same boat as always. It's a mixture, but it's fine. We'll cope. Okay, so we get to start with a we also get, hang on a second, yes, okay, here we go. So we can take a potion of skill with us, which restores skill points, a potion of strength, which restores stamina, or a potion of luck, which restores luck and adds 1 to initial luck. So given that I'm doing okay on luck, I'm probably going to take stamina. And that's going to help because I've got to... yes, good call, Crit. This could be over really fast. So I'm going to take my 2-point deduction from stamina, giving me a 9-point starting skill. 17 starting stamina and a 12 luck. And I'm going to have a potion of strength.
Very good. Is it 2 points we take off?
Yes, 2.
Is that correct? See, I'm not very happy with my stamina as it is. So I'm going to take 1 off skill, and I'm going to take 1 off luck.
Actually, now that you've said that, don't we normally take 4 points off?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think we do.
I didn't want to
don't
call
we?
you out on live on stream.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we take. Okay, I'm still going to take them all out of stamina because I want the luck.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I will take 1 off skill, 1 off luck, and 2 off stamina, and take a potion of stamina.
Okay, great. Yes, I'm leaving my skill and luck alone, and going for a stamina potion. Yes. Right, now it cheerfully says you can find and buy other items as you go, which is fair enough. And yes, we only have 1 potion each, so that's the game, and that's all we have. Right, and that is where we start. So the background. Winters in northern Alancia are always cruel and bitter. The snow falls thick and the icy wind blows hard, chilling everybody to the bone. For the past few weeks you've been hired by a merchant called Big Jim's son to protect his trading caravans as they roll their way slowly north to the frozen outposts. The horse-drawn carts are laden with cloth, utensils, weapons, salted meats, spices and tea, which are traded for furs and ivory carvings made from mammoth's tusks. Big Jim is not usually worried about travelling north, as bandits only attack his caravans on the return journey. He is not alone in recognising the value of the northern goods. On this particular trip you are walking ahead of 6 carts across a frozen lake. In the distance you can see the snow-capped peaks of the Icefinger Mountains, jutting out of low cloud. Your destination lies at the base of the mountains where the Northmen meet to trade. Snow is falling, but not too heavily. You stop to prod the ice with your sword to make sure it can bear the weight of carts, when suddenly the shrill call of a hunting horn breaks the silence. You stand up and run back to the carts to talk to Big Jim. He's sitting next to the driver of the second cart, puffing on a long briar pipe. A huge man with a great bushy beard, Big Jim is obviously a man to be reckoned with. His bright blue eyes scan the horizon, searching for signs of life. In a deep voice he says, "Sounds like it came from the outpost. Reckon you better go and investigate. Could be trouble. And get back quick." You set off straight away towards the outpost at the base of Icefinger Mountains. You arrive 2 hours later at a scene of ugly carnage. The snow is red with blood and all the wooden huts are smashed and torn down. 6 men lie dead, their bodies slashed, their axes at their sides in the snow. Judging by the size of the footprints, the creature that attacked the outpost must have been enormous. There is nothing you can do for the unfortunate Northmen, so you head back towards Big Jim's caravan to report the news. You reach them in an hour, just as the daylight is falling, and relate the terrible events that have befallen the outpost. Big Jim orders the carts to be drawn into a circle to protect his men during the night. A large fire is built into the centre of the circle, and you sit down beside it to talk to Big Jim. Everybody is nervous, and a guard is posted to watch for signs of movement outside. In a low voice, Big Jim asks you if you will hunt the terrible creature, for otherwise his business will be ruined forever. You smile, and reply that you will track down the beast, but only for a purse of 50 gold pieces. Big Jim's jaw drops open, and it takes a great deal of persuasion before he agrees to your demand. The snow finally stops falling as you settle down for the night. Sleep is a long time coming, for your mind is active with thoughts of the impending hunt. When you wake just after dawn, the fire is reduced to dying embers. Wisps of smoke rise gently into the morning mist, and not a sound is to be heard. You walk over to where Big Jim is sleeping and tap him on the shoulder. He wakes with a start, and you tell him that you're setting off and hope to be back later in the day. You wave to the guard as the snow starts to fall again, and make your way back to the outpost. Now, I don't wish to be overly critical of Big Jim, but Frozen Lake, draw the wagons into a circle and lighting a fire in the middle may not be the wisest choice. Just saying. Okay. So, space number 1. By the time you reach the outpost again, the bodies are blanketed with snow and the beast's footprints are covered over. The visibility is poor as you set off towards the mountains, where you hope to find the abominable killer beast. The snow on the mountainside is soft, and you sink in up to your knees as you climb slowly up. You soon find yourself at the edge of a crevasse, which is spanned by an ice bridge. If you wish to cross the crevasse by the ice bridge, turn to 335, and if you'd rather walk around the crevasse, it's 310. Ice bridge or walk around? I mean, I'm tempted to say they're not going to just drop us in a crevasse the very first choice, are they?
Are you familiar with these books, Ben?
Not very.
No. Well, yeah, I would agree. I think. Yeah, let's do it.
Straight across the ice bridge. This could
bridge.
literally be the shortest one we've ever done by a huge margin.
No. I have faith.
Okay, we will cross the crevasse by the ice bridge. 335. The bridge is quite narrow and very slippery. Test your luck.
Well, at least it's given us an out.
Yeah, it's lucky or unlucky. Okay, so I'm definitely going to be lucky because my luck is 12.
Which is good.
Only not anymore, of course. Now it's 11.
Yes, indeed. 2D.
2D, equal or under.
Now that's good. It's a 5, which is under my luck of 8, which now becomes a luck of 7.
Excellent. We are lucky. Turn to 41. I'm sure that's right. Yeah, 41. You tread carefully over the bridge. Safely across the crevasse, you continue your slow trek through the snow. Turn to 212. Well, there you go. There's nothing to worry about. The wind starts to howl, blowing gusts of snow into your face. You put your head down and stride into it. Above the howl of the wind, you suddenly become aware of another sound, the howling of wolves. You draw your sword while trying to peer through the snow. As if out of nowhere, 2 snow wolves appear in front of you, hunched ready to pounce. They are completely white except for their blood-red eyes. Suddenly one leaps at you. Now it says fight them one at a time to give you a nice easy intro, but I think we will take them on together, won't we? One each.
Yeah, seeing as there's 2 of us, that seems fair.
So do you fancy the first or the second snow wolf, because they have slightly different stats?
Ooh. I will take the second, please,
Okay.
Ben.
Then your snow wolf has skill of 7 and stamina of 7. Mine has skill of 7 and stamina 8.
Cool.
Okay. So we get to attack. My skill is 9. So that's 9 plus 5 is 14. And my wolf does 7 plus 7, which is 14. So no result this turn.
2D plus skill. That is correct, is it not?
Yep.
Which is a 3 plus 11 for me, which is a 14.
Okay.
And then the same for which is an 8 plus 7, which is a 15.
Okay. So
Which
that
is
means
bad
you
news.
take a 2-point hit, presumably.
It does indeed.
Ah,
I'm not going to push my luck quite
no.
this early.
Same here. Okay, round 2. That's an 11 plus 9 for me, which means I definitely win. I don't need to roll for the wolf.
Ah, very nice. Mine is a 6 plus 11, which is a 17, which puts me in a good place.
A very good place.
Feeling confident. And that's a 5 for the wolf.
Excellent.
So
My
they go
wolf has
down to
taken a
5.
hit. Your wolf has taken a hit. It's all going well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good times.
My next one, however, is a 3 that I roll.
Oh.
And the wolf rolled a 7, which is enough to cost me 2 stamina. Irritatingly.
It's quite early on to be taking some stamina hits.
It is when you only started with 15.
I mean, I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how long the book is, to be fair. We could be just around the corner from victory. So 7 for me. Plus 11 is 18. And the wolf gets an 8 plus 7, which is 15.
Okay.
So it goes down to 3.
Fantastic. My wolf is still cheerfully on 6 and barely looks even winded. Right. This time I rolled a 5. And the wolf rolled an 11. Okay. I'm now down to 11 stamina.
Sorry, I'm just typing about how I agree with Crit, and Luke should do a minute of wisdom in the train carriage on his way back.
Nobody would have the slightest idea what was going on, but
no,
they'd probably
I'm not
think
sure
it
I
was
do. But...
a Just Stop Oil protest or something.
Some avant-garde train art.
Absolutely.
Performance art.
Right.
Mine's an 8 plus 11. It's a 19.
That seems pretty good.
And the wolf also got an 8 plus a 7. So the wolf goes down to 1. Again, I'm not going to test my luck quite
this
so
time
early.
I got a 9, which is 20 in total.
Very nice.
And the wolf actually rolled a 10, but I'm afraid for it, that's not enough. So, sorry, it was 18, but still not enough for it. He ended up with 17. So that has now reduced my wolf to a mere 4.
Good stuff. I rolled a 4 for a 15.
Mm-hmm.
And the wolf rolled a 5 for a 12.
Okay.
Which is good news.
That is good news.
Bye-bye, wolf.
Is he done? Okay.
That is it.
I have rolled a 3 for a total of 12. The wolf has rolled a 5, also for a total of 12. Okay.
Ooh.
Right. The wolf needs to die now, I think. That's a lot better. I rolled a 12 for a total of much more than the wolf can do. A total of 21. So the wolf is down to 2. And this time an 8 plus my 9 is 17. And the wolf could only manage a 7 plus its 7 is 14. The wolf is dead. Okay. Well, yeah, took quite a lot of a hit there, but we have won. So 202.
2 wolves down.
You step past the still bodies of the wolves and continue your journey through the swirling snow. The climb becomes steeper, and the going is slow. Turn to 337. The snow is beginning to fall very heavily, swirling around in the strong wind. A blizzard is starting. If you wish to use your sword to dig a shelter in the snow, do one thing, or if you'd rather press on, do another. Okay. I think... I don't know. Do we want to take shelter? It's the beginnings of a blizzard, isn't it? So it's going to get worse. That's what it's implying.
Yes, I believe so. And as such, I also think shelter's probably the right choice here, but we might be able to push on for a little bit before continuing.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
What do you fancy? Shelter or press on?
Let's take shelter.
Okay, we'll dig a shelter in the snow. We turn to 281. You hurriedly cut blocks of ice out of the mountainside and build a makeshift igloo. You crawl into it, and as the blizzard blows down the mountain with ferocious power, your body heat is retained inside the igloo and you keep warm. However, you must eat 2 portions of your provisions to regain your strength. Doing this does not increase your stamina. Actually, I should point out, at no point did it tell us how many provisions we get.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Which I feel is a weakness. Hang on a second.
We must have some, I would assume. Either that or we can't do it, and that's the end of the game.
Okay, here we go. It wasn't under equipment, it's under a separate section. Fair enough. We start out with 10 provisions, and normally, so we will actually have 8, and normally eating a meal restores 4 stamina points.
Cool. So we now have 8.
Okay, so 8 provisions.
But we're nice and cozy in our little igloo.
Exactly right. Okay. An hour later, the blizzard dies down and you crawl out of your shelter to continue your quest. I will, in fact, however, eat another provision at this point in order to restore my stamina back to 15.
Yes, because you took a few hits.
I did take a couple of hits. Yeah.
I shall hold off for the time being.
Don't blame you. So, blizzard dies down, crawl out of the shelter, we turn to 169. Underneath an overhanging rock, you see a small wooden hut built against the side of the mountain. Its roof is piled high with snow, and long icicles hang down from the window ledges. You see a set of deep footprints leading from the hut up the side of the mountain. We can enter the hut, or follow the footprints in the snow.
Interesting. Your choice, Ben, I think.
Yeah.
I'm in 2 minds.
My thinking is we enter the hut first. We can always follow the footprints afterwards.
Yeah, that's true.
Or, no, hang on a minute. It's the other way around, isn't it? The footprints might get obscured by the snow, whereas the hut will know where it is.
And the footprints are moving. The source of the footprints are moving.
Let's follow the footprints then, okay? We will follow the footprints and turn to 190. The high altitude and thin atmosphere make you pant for breath as you continue your steady climb. Lose a stamina point.
Harsh.
I feel a bit picked on by this book from time to time. Suddenly you hear the cry of a human voice followed by a ferocious roar. Not far ahead you see a fur trapper fighting for his life against a gigantic bear-like beast with long white fur and sharp teeth protruding from its jaws. It is the killer beast you've been hunting. the abominable Yeti.
Ooh.
You watch the unfortunate trapper being gnashed by the Yeti's claws and falling face down in the snow. Incensed by the vicious attack, you scream at the Yeti and run through the snow to attack it. Okay.
Of
Fair
course we
enough.
do.
So we turn to 77.
Wonderful. I don't know what colour the Yeti is. I'm going to say it's a giant blue thing.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
It's blue on the cover of the book, if that's any help. Yep. Are you carrying a spear? Oh, God.
Are we at this point already?
Yeah. We do not have a
Wow.
spear. No, in fact, we barely have
No.
anything. We haven't done anything yet. If we
Yeah.
do not have a spear, we have to turn to 378.
Maybe we should have gone to the hut.
Maybe. You draw your sword and lunge at the huge white beast. So, the Yeti. Skill 11, stamina 12. Okay?
Skill 11, stamina 12.
Skill
Gotcha.
11, stamina 12. It is substantially more skillful than I am. So, let's both roll our attacks and see what the Yeti does. Okay, I rolled an 8.
My dice were a 4, so that's a 15 in total.
Okay. Okay, I actually managed a 17.
Ooh, nice.
The Yeti did a 2.
Oh,
So, that means it's already lost a third of its health. You see, this is going to be easy. Great. Next attack round. Another one like that would be great.
yeah. 2 more like that. Book over. We win.
That's a 9 for me. Total of 18.
Mine's a 7 for an 18 as well.
And the mighty Yeti has rolled a double 1.
Oh my
Again.
word.
Okay.
I feel mighty might be a misused word.
This may
in
be
this,
the
in this
unluckiest
case.
Yeti that anyone's ever encountered. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, it's down to just 4 stamina. Okay. This time I rolled a 7. Total of 16.
Mine is an 8 for a 19.
And the Yeti's rolled a 12 for a total of 23.
Okay, yeah, that's
That
more
tracks.
like it.
So, it's going to hit one of us. Would you like odds or evens?
I'll take odds, please, Ben. For I am.
It's a 2, so it's me it hits.
Well,
Knocking down to 12. Okay. Next round.
change my dice. Not that I could have done anything against that last one, but
I've done an 11 for a total of 20.
mine's a 12 for a 23.
Okay.
Funnily enough.
And it's done a 7 for a total of 16. Which means, even though it rolled okay in this last one, it's actually done for. The Yeti is no more. This is fantastic. We win, turn to 67. I hope 67 says, your quest is complete.
You
Congratulations, you've won.
In which case, I think it would be possibly the quickest and the most successful. Maybe.
It would. Oh, this looks
I
like
get
a
the
long
feeling
section.
there's
It
more.
could be brilliant.
Ah.
You kneel down beside the fur trapper and turn him over slowly. His eyes are barely open and blood trickles down from the corner of his mouth. The Yeti has gouged deep wounds to his chest, and you realise that there is no hope of saving him. With a great effort, he reaches up and grabs you around the neck, pulling you down so you can hear his dying words. He thanks you for trying to save him and insists on telling you his secret. In terrible pain, he struggles to whisper his story. He tells you that he has lived in the mountains for most of his life, hunting animals and trading their furs. But for the last 5 years he has been searching for the legendary crystal caves. These caves have been cut out of a glacier by the followers of the Snow Witch, a beautiful yet evil sorceress who is trying to use her dark powers to bring on an ice age so that she can rule supreme over the whole world. The entrance to the crystal caves is high up on this very mountain. It is open, but hidden by an illusion. The unfortunate fur trapper found it by accident only yesterday when he saw one of the Snow Witch's warriors seemingly walk straight through an ice wall and disappear. The trapper left a piece of fur hanging over the entrance so that he could find it again the next day. Sadly, the Yeti has put an end to his hopes. He asks you to enter the caves today, to slay the vile Snow Witch, and leave her
So it's very
followers without
specific
their
timing.
leader. There are legends about great treasures being frozen into the wall of the Snow Witch's lair, which would provide ample reward. The fur trapper suddenly grips you hard and then falls back silently into the snow. He's dead. You cover him with snow before deciding what to do. 50 gold pieces await you if you return with evidence of the Yeti's death to Big Jim's son. But the thought of a quest through the crystal caves beneath Icefinger Mountains excites you, and you decide to set off to find them. Turn to 25. It doesn't give us an out.
Well, thanks, Ian.
Yeah. Boy. Now that the snow has stopped falling, the sky is clear and blue. The air is cold and crisp, and the snow crunches beneath your feet. Slowly you make your way up the mountainside, looking for the cave entrance marker left by the fur trapper. Suddenly you hear a distant rumbling from above, the terrifying sound of an avalanche. Test your luck.
Oh no.
Okay. That's a 6 for me, which is well under my luck, but obviously my luck now takes another hit.
Mine is a 7, which is equal to my luck, Ben.
Okay, there we go.
Is that
We are
good
both
enough?
lucky, yes.
Okay, wonderful. Yet, but I still have to lose one.
Yes, we are lucky, so 163.
So my luck is now 6.
You look up to see great cascades of snow tumbling down the mountain. Fortunately, the avalanche sweeps down a ridge adjacent to the one you're climbing. Turn to 363.
Good news, good news. We are still alive.
So far, so good. You make your way slowly up the mountain until you reach a rock face that is too steep to climb. You walk round the side until you see a massive wall of ice which completely blocks a gully between 2 peaks of the mountain, the glacier. Your heart leaps as you catch sight of the piece of fur left hanging on the wall of ice by the trapper. Although you can't see the entrance, you walk straight ahead. You shut your eyes as you think you're about to walk into the wall of ice, but you walk straight through the illusion and find yourself inside a long tunnel carved into the ice. You walk down it and soon arrive at a T-junction. And we can turn left, or, we can turn right.
Ooh. Well, gonna be honest, kind of feels 50-50 at this point.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll for it, or do you want to make a decision?
Let's roll for it.
I'm happy either way, Ben.
1 to 3 is left and 4 to 6 is right. How about that?
Yeah, cool.
It's a 5, so we will go right. We turn to 215.
Oh, see, this is why I normally start at the bottom, because now right is left and left is right.
Ah, yes, I see what you mean. That is right, isn't it?
Hey.
Turn right. Turn to 215, yep. The tunnel opens out into a small cavern, which is empty, apart from a brass bowl resting on top of an ice plinth. The bowl contains a yellow liquid and a wooden ladle. We can drink it, or walk back out of the tavern without drinking it. I mean, you know, there may be a benefit. It might restore some health or
Something.
something. But the risk does seem a lot for just randomly drinking yellow snow. Sorry, yellow liquid.
Hmm. Are we just going to glaze over the fact that there's a tavern randomly in the middle of this hidden? I mean, I suppose it makes sense if there's people here.
What do you think?
It could be really good, but it could be really bad.
It's a 50-50. How about we let the dice decide?
Yeah, sure. Go on then.
Because what's the worst that happens? We die really soon, and it's not like we haven't had that happen before.
Yeah, I mean, that's never happened.
Okay, that's a 6, which is the second option. We walk back out of the cavern without drinking the liquid. So we turn to 56.
Is that doubling back the way we came?
I don't exactly know. Hang on a second. It might be. Okay, you walk past the entrance tunnel on your left and continue on down the main tunnel. So yes. Turn to 395.
Wonderful.
The tunnel bends round to the right. As you turn, you almost bump into a tall, pale-skinned humanoid coming the other way. He's wearing a white cloak with a hood pulled over his head. He is a mountain elf, one of the Snow Witch's followers. So, we can nod our heads at him and walk by nonchalantly. Tell him we've come to join the followers, the Snow Witch's followers, or go straight to the violence part of the action.
I'm very tempted to say that we've come here to join the followers, but
you know what?
That could be a really bad decision.
Certainly, I think let's try to avoid violence if we can. So the question is, do we say we've come to join the Snow Witch, or do we just nod to him and walk past as if we belong here? But I'm guessing it's her cavern, so maybe we should tell him, if that's what you think.
Yeah, let's give it a go. What's
Give
the
it a
worst?
shot.
What's
274.
the worst thing that could happen?
Well, funny you should ask.
Oh. Do go on, Ben.
Okay.
I suppose.
The mountain elf looks at you in disbelief and says, "Nobody of good heart would wish to join the Snow Witch. I am only here because of this." Throwing back his hood, the elf reveals a metal collar around his neck which glows in the semi-darkness. "Only the obedience collar makes me serve her," he continues in a dour voice. Now, we can now reiterate our desire to join the Snow Witch, or change the story and tell the elf that we'd like to kill her, please. The obedience collar does seem to have some weaknesses, since it doesn't make him, completely obedient to her, does it?
Yeah, he's still able to communicate.
Well, I'm tempted to change the story and be honest with him.
Way.
Truthfully.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, we'll change the story and tell the elf that we intend to slay her. Turn to 264. The mountain elf looks at you and smiles. "Now you're talking," he says. "Kill her and free us. Here, take my cloak to disguise yourself and follow this tunnel until it branches.
Ooh.
Take the right-hand fork. Good luck." You shake the elf's hand and run off down the tunnel. Turn to 136.
Oh, thanks, elf.
This could be handy.
Wait, did they say right-hand tunnel?
Right-hand fork.
Before you turn the page. Yes, sorry, right-hand fork.
And we've got a cloak. Elf cloak. which is handy. Okay.
Mm.
You soon arrive at the fork in the tunnel that the mountain elf mentioned, and deciding to take his advice, you enter the tunnel to your right. It doesn't actually say, no, he was lying to us, you can take the one on the left, but truthfully, I think we'd have followed his advice, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
So 106 it is. Further ahead, in the left-hand wall of the tunnel, you see a gap. You walk up to it and peer around to see a cave in which a Neanderthal is stripping the skin off a moose, making it ready for the large simmering stew pot behind him. He's working very slowly and is being yelled at by the gnome cook, who's wearing a white apron and waving a wooden spoon in the air. We can enter the crude kitchen or creep past the entrance. I mean, a gap is a door, right?
Yeah, I mean, a gap is a door, and to be fair, it's only it's it's a chef. It's not an army.
Yeah, a Neanderthal and a gnome. That's all that's there.
Yeah, but they're cooking.
They're cooking, yes. Let's enter the crude kitchen. Turn to 95.
Wonderful.
The gnome runs up to you and shouts, "Get out! Dinner will not be ready for another 2 hours. You'll hear the bell. Mind you, you look a little worse for wear, so you can have this stale cake if you wish." The gnome points at a piece of cake lying on the table. We can take the cake or attack the Snow Witch's servants.
Yeah.
Those are the choices. I think cake for me.
I don't know. The cake is a lie, apparently.
The cake is a lie.
This well-known computer game that I once played.
It is.
Yeah, go on. Let's take the cake there. Who's realistically going to turn down cake?
I mean, of all of the streams to turn out to be cakeist, I'm surprised it's us. But yes, we will take the cake and leave. Turn to 290. You leave the cave and turn left back to the tunnel, eating the cake as you go. It's stale and virtually tasteless, but gives you a little energy. Add a stamina point. Okay.
Ooh. Thank you very much.
I needed that. Excellent. Turn to 198. In the distance, you hear chanting voices. Before long, the tunnel ends at the entrance to a large cavern. Kneeling down before an ice effigy in the shape of a demon, their hooded faces pressed to the ice floor in worship, are 10 of the Snow Witch's followers. There are 2 exits from the cave, one to your left and one to your right. Oh, and then it says if you're wearing a cloak, do this, and if you're not wearing a cloak, do that. We are wearing a cloak. I mean, it's a little weird because you've only got the one cloak and it's around both of us, but still, we're wearing a cloak.
Yeah.
We are wearing a cloak. Turn to 384. Okay. Yeah, you're going to like this. You pull down the hood of your cloak as far as possible and walk towards the tunnel exit on your right. Now we have to test our luck. Mine's fine. That was a 5. I say it's fine. I'm running out of luck really fast.
Mine is currently on a 6, so this could end badly. Oh, although I rolled a 3 on the dice.
Fantastic.
So it's now 5.
Okay.
which is not good, frankly.
We are lucky. Turn to 295. I'm starting to feel I picked the wrong potion.
Yeah, me too.
There seems to be a lot of tests of luck.
Yeah.
And still got a reasonable number of provisions to restore stamina.
Yes, that's true.
None of the worshippers suspects that you're an intruder, and you're able to walk through the temple without trouble into the other tunnel. Turn to 137. Okay. Yeah. The tunnel ends quite soon at a T-junction. To your left, you can hear cries for help. We can turn left or we can turn right. Cries for help or avoid cries for help. Good point, Crit. No party of this size has a cloaking device.
Very true.
Very true.
I don't know, Ben. We're heroes, aren't we?
We're supposed to be. Let's go and
Which
find the cries
kind
for
of
help.
implies which way? Sorry.
That's turning left. Left, you
Okay.
can hear cries for help. Okay, we'll turn left.
we
Turn to
both say begrudgingly.
311. I think we're doomed now, but you know.
Hey, at least we're going out with honour, not cowering on the floor and being
True.
shot at with arrows, which has definitely happened before.
The tunnel ends at the edge of a pit, out of which a dwarf is trying to climb, but he keeps on slipping back. The floor of the pit is covered with large ice boulders which have crashed down from a shaft above the pit. One lands on the dwarf's shoulders, and you hear wild cheers from the top of the shaft as he tumbles onto the floor. The dwarf sees you and shouts, "Curse you, stranger, if you do not aid me. I see that you are not wearing a collar." Okay. Alright, so essentially, dwarf in a hole in the ground, there's a shaft above the hole in the ground, people are lobbing rocks down at the dwarf.
Yeah.
And he's saying we've got to help him because we aren't wearing collars, therefore presumably we're not bad guys. So we can help him or we can ignore his pleas. But I think you were right the last time. We are supposed to be hero adjacent.
Yeah. I mean, we've come all this way. We might as well.
I'm just a bit
Try to
worried
help
that
them.
they're going to say, right, try and help him out, test your luck. Let's give it a shot. We'll help the dwarf out of the pit, turn to 376.
He almost pulls you in. Test your luck.
Yeah. You lie down and lean over the edge of the pit and tell the dwarf to grab your arm. Much to the annoyance of the spectators above, the dwarf escapes from the pit. You run together back to the junction where the dwarf turns right. You tell the dwarf that you intend to carry straight on to find the Snow Witch, as turning right will lead you back to the Hall of Worship. The dwarf tells you that he must escape quickly and return to his village now that he's free. He thanks you for helping him and hands you a leather bag, then runs off. But before he disappears, he turns and shouts, "Beware the white rat." You open the leather bag and find a sling and 3 iron balls. Okay. Sling.
Sling.
3 balls.
Beware.
And beware the white rat.
Good information.
Good information.
I'm glad we're heroes.
Yeah, so am I. Excellent dwarf. This was a top flight dwarf. Okay. We pack everything away and set off along the tunnel. Turn to 125.
125, and this is the direction that wasn't with help. Or they didn't have help cries coming from it.
Okay. The tunnel through the glacier soon leads into the mountainside itself, and the walls change from ice to bare rock. You enter a large cavern which has 3 other exits leading from it. One to the left, one to the right, and the main one carved as a giant skull lying directly opposite. As you enter, an ugly robed man steps out of the mouth of the skull, holding a glass prism in his outstretched hands. He commands you to turn back, as only the Snow Witch's personal servants are allowed inside the mountain. Okay, it then says, if you have a magic flute, you may wish to tell him you've been asked to come and play it for the Snow Witch. No, we do not. We do not have one of those.
Yeah,
Or you may attack him with your sword. That's the other option.
wonderful.
So we turn to
Sorry,
156.
what was the layout of
IMT.
the room?
I'm sorry, what was that? The
What
number
was
of
the
this
layout of the
room.
room?
This was 125.
125. And did you say it had an exit to the left, to the right,
Yeah,
and a skull
left,
in the
right, and
middle?
straight on. But the one the guy came out of was straight ahead.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much. And hello, yes, IMT. I was in chat welcoming them when you were describing the room. Totally my fault for not paying attention.
So yes, we attack him with the sword. Turn to 156. Hello, Russ and Pirate and everybody. It's absolutely brilliant to see you, Angie, Minerva.
Indeed.
Fantastic.
What were they playing tonight, Ben? Ben was watching.
They were playing Cthulhu,
Stream.
like Dark Cthulhu.
Pulp. Ah, very nice. I hope it all went well and nobody went insane. And no old ones were released.
Yes, and they were playing along with our good friend John Legitimate,
Ah,
which is very nice. Yes, it's
which
lovely
is
of you to
wonderful.
join us. Thank you, IMT. Right, we attack him with the sword. Turn to 156. We're playing Caverns of the Snow Witch, which is an old fighting fantasy game book. Okay. The ugly man sneers as you draw your sword. He rubs the prism and suddenly 3 identical images of himself appear. They walk towards you. Each one has a dagger raised in his right hand. 2 of them must be illusions, but which one will you attack? Left, middle, or right?
Let's attack the one that raised its hand and made the illusions.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Though I don't feel that's going to be an option.
It isn't. Left, middle, or right are the options, I'm afraid. We'll raise the one that's sounding like it's still chuckling at us.
Yeah, at this point.
The one that's leaving footprints in the snow. That one.
Really good call. Yeah, definitely.
No, I'm afraid it doesn't. Should we just roll a die?
Yeah.
Okay. So left, middle, or right? It's a 2, so we'll try the one on the left, okay?
Yeah.
That's 99. The illusionist laughs out loud as your sword merely cuts through one of his images, and his dagger plunges into your shoulder. Lose 2 stamina points.
Oh.
Okay. Turn to 279. The illusionist withdraws his dagger and his 3 images prepare to strike you again. You decide to swipe your blade across all of the images in an attempt to strike the real illusionist. Test your luck.
Oh.
Oh no.
This is not going to go well.
This is a very luck-heavy game, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, and it happened to be my lowest stat, and I was like, that's okay. We don't really use luck that often normally.
I rolled a 7, which is enough for me to make it, but only by a little. And I'm now down to 8 luck.
I rolled a 7 also. What are the chances of that we both roll the most likely number on 2d6? Which is more than my luck.
Okay,
which
then
still
we
goes
are,
down,
jointly
is that correct?
speaking, unlucky.
Sorry, Ben.
That's life.
And
we
I still
are
have to
unlucky.
reduce it.
Turn to 127.
Cool.
Yeah. Once again, your sword fails to find its mark, and the dagger cuts into your sword arm. Lose 2 stamina and 1 skill.
A skill?
Yes. That almost never happens.
No.
In desperation, you hack frantically at the 3 images with daggers drawn. Test your luck.
Wait, but we know it's not one of them. Is this going to be a luck-based battle? And
I
I'm
think
going
it
to kill
is.
us. I'm
I think
sorry,
this is going to be a luck-based
because
battle.
my luck is currently 4. So
I rolled an 11, which is well above my luck.
Oh, well, that's okay. Oh, so did I, funnily enough. What are the chances that we'd both roll a 7 and then both roll an 11?
On a
Which is
day when
also
neither
well
of us is
above my
playing
luck.
craps, yes.
Well, yeah. Quick, turn this stream around. Let's go to Las Vegas.
Yeah. Okay. We are unlucky. Turn to 361.
We are indeed.
Is this literally going to just be lucked to death?
Surely there's got to be an out somewhere along the line.
361, it says just lose 1 luck point. So that's another one.
Oh.
And then turn to 127.
So maybe this is the out, but not the lucky way.
Oh, God.
Oh no, 127 we've been to before.
Which is, once again, your sword fails to find its mark. Lose 2 stamina. That's down to 7 for me. And 1 skill,
6.
also down to 7. And we now need to test our luck. And it's getting very unlikely we're going to survive this.
Indeed, my skill is down to 9. My luck is currently 2, then. So I think it's pretty much guaranteed that this isn't going to end well.
I think, yeah. We need a miracle now.
And crit is right, it's Link's fault.
I did roll a 3, so I've theoretically passed my luck test, but I don't think it's going to make any difference.
I got a 1 on one of my dice. And,
okay.
Unfortunately,
and the other
I got a 5 on the other.
Okay. Yeah. So
my
we
luck
are
now
unlucky.
becomes 1.
Turn to 361, and we know what happens there. We lose another luck point.
Which means my luck now becomes 0. There's not a lot I can do, I'm afraid now.
No, there's nothing we can do. Which means we lose another luck point, go back to 127, yes. So my luck drops to 4, which means we're going to lose again 2 stamina, 5 now, 1 skill for 6. We can't be lucky, so we lose another 2 luck to 2. It's just got to put you in minuses for luck.
Yeah, I'm going to count them because I think there might be a.
So we lose 1 for the test and then 1 for the 361, and then we're back, and then it's another 2 stamina and 1 skill.
Oh, all the way round. So 7 skill, 2 stamina.
I'm on 5 skill and 3 stamina.
Well, at least you'll outlive me.
Just. So we then lose a luck point, head to 361, lose another luck point. That moves me to 0. Back to 127. Lose 1 skill. That's 4. And 2 stamina. I have 1 stamina, 4 skill, and no luck.
Well, the good news is now you don't have to deal with my -4 luck, and you can actually roll your own luck.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
the bad news is my luck
late.
is now 0.
Yeah. Wow. If my stamina had been worse, you might have had an out, or at least another roll.
Yes. Yeah, if only you had less stamina, it might have happened. You never know. Mind you, by then my luck was so depleted, it's really unlikely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm afraid that is where our quest comes to an end, because we die in this. There's no actual, what happens if you run out of stamina or anything. There's no out for this. It's
I thought there was going to be, but
yeah.
But after a certain number of iterations, it just say, okay, we've drained enough from you.
Yeah.
Move along. The next thing will kill you.
No, it's just an endless loop. You go to 361, lose luck, 127,
Yeah.
and then you
Until you
fail.
pass your luck.
The only way
Which is
out is if you do get lucky, you turn to 232. If you get lucky.
and presumably then you have to enter combat because you know which one is real. Presumably.
And then, well, even that doesn't actually end the combat if you do get lucky. He gets hurt and the two images fade away. Then he
Yeah.
stands up with his wound completely healed. You can have another go with the sword or try to smash his prism. So you've got to basically take the man's prism out. But in order to do that, you have to get lucky twice, don't you?
Mm.
In order just to get to that point. And unfortunately, we sadly did not manage that because we couldn't land two lucks with the constant losing of luck.
Of luck. It's
Yeah.
the testing that really hurts it because
Hmm.
I think we'd passed all of our lucks up
Yeah.
until that point, save maybe one.
Yes.
But every time you test, you have to lose a luck, which is understandable. But in this game, that was quite luck heavy, and then had a
Yeah.
purely luck combat. It felt like is
Yes.
brutal.
Yeah. There were a lot of luck tests, and then this combat was clearly designed to break those of us who've played these books before and thought we know
Mm.
how to do things.
Yeah, I suppose if you were going to replay it, you would choose to fail some of the earlier ones that seemed less impactful.
Well,
Because if you can
yeah.
choose not to test it, can't you? And then you don't reduce it, but you suffer the consequences of whatever.
I
Is that
don't
right?
remember. I mean, if you don't test your luck, then you fail. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you get to choose that. Do you? You might actually. I should look that up because you can, can't you? I think if you choose
I
not
thought
to.
you.
Yeah,
That
I
might be
think you
Troika.
could be right.
I might be mistaken, but I think it's something like that. Because
Yes.
otherwise, you'd have to roll a really good luck to get to this point and have something that's still testable, I guess. I mean, I started
Yes.
off with 8, which isn't great, but I got here and was
Mm.
on 4 or 5 or something, which is chances are you're going to fail.
Yeah, I think I was on 9 or 8 after
Mm.
starting on 12.
Yeah, well, I
Um,
mean, and 12 is all you can do, isn't it? And I suppose 9 or 8 isn't guaranteed that you're going to fail as long as you're not with somebody
mm,
who's on 5. But it's not an ideal situation to be in if you've got to do it more than once.
yes. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't explicitly say that you are allowed to just take the bad luck, but it.
Okay,
But to be
it's
fair,
just
it
me
does
making it up.
say when you're offered these things, you may call on your luck to make the outcome more favourable. So I think it implies that you're right. That you can actually
Mm,
choose to just take the bad result.
because it says May.
Yeah. But truthfully, I just didn't realise it was going to be that heavy a luck based game, this one.
No, I mean not that you could have done anything else about it because you rolled a 6 on your dice and added 6 to it and had the maximum
Yep,
luck that you could have started with. You know,
absolutely.
it's
And I didn't reduce it when we knocked off the 4 points. And yet, it still didn't really work out because I'd have
yeah,
still needed to be lucky twice on the trot and then probably again for this final encounter, even if I'd been able to try and break his prism. I suspect that would have been a
yeah,
luck roll as well.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so yeah, it turns out I just wish I knew what the white rat was now.
Yeah, that's how these books get you though, because
Yeah,
I often think like the yellow potion. I was like, oh, I just want to know what it does. I know it's probably bad. Best case scenario, it's 50-50, but I just want to know. Don't want to have had the feeling of missing out on something that could have aided us spectacularly. I mean, maybe that would have restored a load of luck for us. Maybe not.
Yeah, it,
Hard
it
to say.
it
Anyway,
could have, but I mean, tragically, we did not survive the Caverns of the Snow Witch, which I wish I could say is an unusual outcome.
mm,
There are reasons I can't say that, obviously. This was not, in fact, an unlikely happening.
it feels somewhat comfortable though after our last triumphant victory that normal service has been resumed.
That we've returned to normality, yes. Yes, I do appreciate that. And that the emergence of the absolutely lethal fighting fantasy book is still a great treat. And it was actually, I thought I was really enjoying the story. I think there's a lot to it.
Mm. Yeah, no, it's a good one. It was a good one, and lots of different encounters and options. And I like the ones where it gives you a little outside section, which for all intents and purposes, are still a dungeon, but and then draws you in, and yeah, it was good. It's good.
It was an entertaining thing, and I certainly enjoyed the journey, relatively brief though it was. And as we've said many times, these things are designed so that you have to play through them 2 or 3 times in order to find your way to the end, which
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
is entirely reasonable actually. That's how they're built, and it would
Yeah, and
be
it's good value for money when you're buying.
yeah,
You can't complain that I had to play this through 7 times. But it's kind of what you want from something, I guess. You don't want to one
absolutely.
shot all of them, do you? And then be like, well, I'm done with that. I could choose some other options, but yeah, you'd be less invested, I think, if you replayed it and you'd already completed it and you just wanted to see what happened in other directions.
Yes.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels that way.
Yeah.
It was a good one though, and certainly not the shortest that we've done by any
Oh no,
stretch of the imagination.
I think we did better than we've done so in in the past, certainly. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, and that's fine. You know, it's 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 all good and it's all entertaining.
Yeah,
Um,
we saved a dwarf. Dwarf? Was it a dwarf we saved
we
from
did
the
save a
chasm?
dwarf.
Yeah, we defeated a yeti. Good times. It probably means that our employer is going to be all right because the monster is no longer. So we
And
did some good stuff.
we did, and we didn't even come back to claim our 50 gold. So he actually
No,
got
oh yeah,
the
yeah,
got the dead yeti for free.
yeah.
I feel actually quite okay about that because he was a decent guy, the boss man, despite his rather foolish idea to light fires on frozen lakes, which I still think is a weakness of character.
Yeah. It feels not the best idea, if I'm honest. As you say, particularly if you're worried about falling through.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
not perhaps completely ideal, but on the other hand, these things they happen, don't they? It's not the end of the world, and he's a good lad, I'm sure.
well, he can be in our imaginations, if nothing else. If
Quite
nothing
right.
else, it's
That's
the
exactly
beauty
what he
of
can
the
be.
theatre of the mind.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, Ewan.
Mm.
Uh, now, tomorrow we are doing a bit of a special, aren't we?
We are indeed. I'm quite excited,
Yeah, I'm
frankly.
quite interested in this.
Not often we do.
I think it's weird because we've got a special Traveller one coming up soon, but tomorrow we've got a
Yeah,
special Orbital Blues one. And these are slightly more experimental than usual. The Orbital Blues one tomorrow, we're going to kind of do a wrap up for the campaign we've just finished, the arc we've just finished,
yeah,
which is going to involve a little bit of role play and a little bit of sort of tying up some loose ends and things like that,
yeah.
because we sort of fled away from a space station the last we had Orbital Blues, and we just want to deliver some errands and some tidying up stuff before we move on with the next arc. Draw a line underneath it.
The next really exciting arc, which I think we're allowed to say. We've mentioned it before, haven't we?
I don't
But
think
we're
so.
oh. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna. Well, I don't know. Actually, maybe I should let Luke do it.
Suffice it to say, there is more Orbital Blues coming.
There is indeed, and we've got some super exciting access to the next arc, which we're all very very much
very
looking forward
pleased
to
about
going
this one.
through.
It should
Yeah.
be enormous fun. So what? But tomorrow night, Orbital Blues, and hopefully you will join us for that, because it should be some sort of pure RP and some nice rounding up of a good story arc. And it really was a good story arc, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was spectacular and full of a lot of stuff and a lot of things for us to do. And in the meantime, Ben and I will twist Luke's arm and see if he'll drop the mic on what the next adventure is for us in Orbital Blues.
Yeah.
Adventure for you, Socks, myself, and Luke, not adventure for our characters. Maybe both.
It's an exciting world.
Ooh.
Excellent.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
Right. Well, we made it one sort of lap of the map kind of thing, but we didn't make it through the skull, and we didn't kill the illusionist, and that means we probably got, I don't know, halfway maybe, I guess.
Yeah, feels about right.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We've certainly done worse in the past. So until next time, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you for coming along. And if you're watching on VOD, thank you for that as well. And I hope you had some fun. And good night.
Good night.